Hey, this is Drew from Moon Audio, and welcome to Audiophile Tech Tips. So today we're going to talk a little bit about IEM connections, primarily the ones that we're manufacturing on our cables. And what we're doing right now is we're doing 2-pin and 4-pin. We're no longer doing the MMCX connector as it's very problematic. That connector, unless you do the female and male connector in the same factory, the tolerances can be slightly off and you can have connection issues over time. So we're not the ones that supply the female MMCX connectors for the IEMs. They're done by another manufacturing, so it's become very problematic, and so that's why we're no longer making MMCX connectors. If they ever find a way to improve them, we'll get back to using them again, but until then, 2-pin and 4-pin only. So here are the Empire Ears Odin IEMs, and these use a 2-pin connection. And you'll notice on our version 2 cables, the Bronze Dragon, the Silver Dragon, and the Black Dragon, we have a little bit of a 45-degree bend angle here. And this is so that you know to have this point up towards the sky and curl your memory wire around this way. And why I'm bringing this up is because we had a customer last week do it totally upside down. What that does is it changes the polarity because you've got a 2-pin connection, one is positive, one is negative, and you have to make sure that that's connected and orientated properly in your IEM. If it's not, especially with single-ended where the grounds are tied, if you have that backwards and the two positives are tied, the IEMs are going to sound very good. So when you look at the IEM, look at that bend angle as well. We've got a little arrow on the top. That arrow always needs to be facing up. On each side of the IEM connector, we will have a little circle that has either an R and L in it, so you'll know which IEM connector goes into which IEM. And if you look on the, for example, Empire Ears, they use white text, and they do a little R or a little L on the writing there. And so that's how you know whether it's right or left, okay? And so on our old version 1 cables, we didn't have this bend angle. And that's part of the reason we changed it, to give people the idea that, hey, it's going to swoop up and bend up this way. It was a straight connector, and we still make these cables. It's a little less expensive. It's a great budget option for lesser expensive IEMs. And in this situation, if you look right here, we've got a dot. So that dot is used for 2 purposes. We have a blue dot and we have a red dot. The red dot is for your right ear. Red in audio almost always means right channel, right audio. Blue dot in this situation, the reason we picked the blue dot, JH Audio, when they do their IEMs, that little writing on the IEM, instead of doing the little R and L on the serial number, they do the writing either in blue or red, red being the right IEM, blue being the left. So that's why we did this dot in blue, because this cable was originally developed just for JH Audio IEMs. Same thing, 2-pin connection, and we'll get into a lot more detail in that IEM segment about how connections work and how to orientate these into your IEMs and the wrong way to do it and so forth. And we'll get into more detail about all the different types of, whether it be a flush 2-pin or a socket. Our IEMs are designed to work with both the flush and the socket. I wish everybody would go back to the socket, because then this whole connector inserts into the IEM and it's much stronger. You don't have to worry about bending. Here you can see how easy it is to bend with a 2-pin flush. Now, if this happens, really all you got to do is gently bend it this way. Let's say you've bent your pins outside of the IEM. You can actually use the IEM and be very gentle with it when you plug it back in. And I don't have my glasses on right now. I'm a little blind as I get older. Can I get it in? Yeah, I can get it in. You can use this to slowly bend it a little bit to reform your little pins in there. So you don't have to send the cable back to us if you bent the pins. Just use your IEM socket to rebend them a little bit. Just be careful. You don't want to break them, okay? Hopefully that was a little insightful. We've got a lot of connections and a lot of different options to go over here. It's tough to do them all. Also, we can't get the close-up that we need to show you the connectors, but stay tuned. We're reworking that whole guide on IEMs, universals, customs, connections, all that stuff. All different kinds of IEMs that we like in there to help you choose the right models. So make sure to subscribe, ask me any questions below, and we'll see you next week.